Now at 5 a.m. on WKYT this morning, more than 100 schools are closed today, and snow is still covering the roads after a historic snowfall hits the Bluegrass State.
Some folks aren't just dealing with snow, they're dealing with high water from this week's rain.
A lot of us below zero this morning. Lexington at zero, Mount Sterling at zero, but look at Danville, Richmond, go off into Crab Orchard. It's really cold this morning. We're tracking those record lows and also better temperatures the next several days. Coming up.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
It's Friday. Good morning and welcome in. It's good to have you with us on WKYT. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Hope you're doing all right and you have shoveled your way out a little bit of your home. Well, yesterday was officially the biggest two-day snowstorm on record for the city of Lexington with 17.1 inches of snow.
Here in early March. Who would have thought, right? And that shatters the old record of only 13.4 inches. We're now tracking another record. Freezing temperatures out there this morning. Sub-zero, it looks like. Let's check in with WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris.
Yeah, we talked about this about 2 weeks ago where you have that big snowpack on the ground that leads to extreme temperatures. Here we go again, and the clearing of the skies isn't helping us out whatsoever. Watch out for some isolated spots of extreme fog, and I mean extreme. I couldn't see that car out ahead of me about 50 yards for just a small amount of time, but still, when you run into it, it's very dense. -6 degrees there in Mount Sterling. We're at -4 in Richmond. -7 there in Frankfort, Lexington coming out at 0. First Alert Defender Live Radar, we're good to go. See you later. We won't even talk about that today. 27 degrees as we hit the afternoon. It's really, really cold, but we are starting to see a bit of a warm up as we get into the weekend and off toward next week. We're talking 60s, and I'll show you that and those numbers coming up in a few minutes.
Okay, we'll see those and look forward to those encouraging numbers.
With those freezing temperatures combined with more than a foot of snow, hundreds of schools and businesses, as you can imagine, are once again closed today.
And that along with trash pickup. If you live in Lexington, Friday's pickup has been canceled. Lexington Mayor Jim Gray tells us that Waste Management is aiming for a Saturday makeup day. If they collect Saturday, it would be for people who are normally on a Thursday pickup schedule. Now, for a full list of closings and delays, visit our website at WKYT.com. We're continuing to track yesterday's winter storm. More than 17 inches of snow still on the ground here in Lexington.
And now with the snow out of the way, there's still some problems for a lot of drivers. WKYT's Mark Barber is joining us live with the latest road conditions. Good morning.
Good morning, Rebecca and Bill. Yeah, there are still some problems for drivers because even though main roads are greatly improved, you can see that here at Manowar and Sir Barton, much of the snow that fell yesterday has been removed. You still cannot see the surface of the road here, and road crews say that that is what they are struggling to remove this morning. Now, streets and roads officials tell us that the top powdery layer of the snow that fell yesterday has come off very quickly, but they say the hard, wet snow that is icing over on the ground now is very tricky to remove. They say they do have salt mixed in with gravel on roads to give drivers traction, but crews tell us that the salt will not be effective until temperatures start to go up. Overall, streets and roads officials tell us they are on schedule. Main roads are in fair to good condition. However, they say drivers need to use caution on side roads, many of which haven't been touched by snowplows yet. We're told 50-person road crews will continue working 12-hour shifts until early next week. They say there is still plenty of salt, but their equipment is starting to get beat up. I'm told they have plenty of blades that are being repaired in the shop right now. Now, we just heard Micah talking about this a moment ago. Something else that drivers need to be watching for this morning is dense fog. It slowed me down on my drive this morning at times to 10 miles an hour. So if you do have to hit the roads for work this morning, please take your time. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, some issues out there this morning. Now, this fog that we'll be tracking here as it rolls in. Roads still a problem this morning if you are heading out the door.
On Lexington's main roads, the snow is packed down. A lot of it is just gone completely from some of the main roads, but getting out of those side streets, a much different story. Let's take a look right now at live drive traffic with WKYT photographer Brandon Turner, who is out braving town through the driving conditions. Hello.
Good morning, Rebecca and Bill. Yes. Right now I'm on outbound Tates Creek Road, and as you can see, the roads are partially covered in some lanes. Side streets are a problem right now, thick layers of ice. But road crews, you can tell that they have made progress on the priority roads and the main arteries. There is a lot of water on the roads, so black ice can also be an issue for you. I'm talking to you now through the hands-free device, so you want to make sure I keep both hands on the wheel and, aware of my surroundings. And I have to advise you all do the same because things can go sideways really quick with all the elements out here. So, again, main roads are looking good. Neighborhood roads are kind of an issue. I got stuck myself this morning trying to get to work. But if you have a little patience, you should be all right this morning. Back to you guys.
All right, some of the interesting stories of personal experiences and all of this. Brandon Turner out there live for us this morning. It's 5:05. Some people in central Kentucky are dealing with both heavy rain and high water. That's the case in Franklin County. People living near Elkhorn Creek told us the water rose into their backyards. And in some cases, the water made it dangerously close to their homes.
Keep an eye on it. We kept pretty good eye on things pretty much all night. And fighting with the sump pump and water coming in.
Elsewhere in Franklin County, the snow made travel very difficult. Even the Frankfort Walmart had to close down because so many employees couldn't get to work. Travel restrictions are still in place in Franklin County until noon today.
Well, many roads in eastern Kentucky are still dangerous for drivers this morning. In Perry County, highway crews say main roads like Highway 80 are now passable, but the side roads still a big concern. For them, high water is an issue.
The big problem has been the flooding because we've had so much snow it's laid on, and then we got the rain, and then we got more snow, and now we're dealing with the runoff from the rain plus the runoff from the snow melt.
High water kept road crews from being able to pre-treat roads before the winter storm, like here in Lexington. Crews worked 16-hour shifts to remove snow from roads in Perry County.
This morning, we're tracking the investigation into a shooting that happened during all of this snow. It injured a Wolfe County man. It happened just before 4 o'clock yesterday morning at a home on Highway 191 in Campton. State police say someone entered the home and fired shots, hitting 52-year-old Garland Noble. Police say the shooter then left. They're not sure who that person is. They say Noble is now in stable condition at a hospital.
Well, 2 people faced charges this morning after a burglary at a Laurel County home. The Laurel County Sheriff's Office arrested 36-year-old Finley Hall and his girlfriend, 48-year-old Elizabeth McNew. Police say an elderly woman found Hall standing next to her bed holding a pipe. Hall became startled and ran off, but deputies were able to arrest him as he tried to leave. They say McNew was in the getaway car outside the home.
One man had fun during yesterday's winter storm using the elements to write a love letter. Check this out. The message not only reached his fiancée, but it has traveled around the world. Darren Brock sneaked out of his apartment while his fiancée was sleeping, and then he used his boots and some fancy footwork to make this happen. There are moments when he thought, though, that he might have to cut the note short.
Well, there was a part where I thought, I'll stop at I love you, but I need her to know it's for her.
The photo has reached more than 1 million people through Facebook and Twitter. A real Romeo there. That was out in Texas. This has been a nationwide deal.
Personalization. That's a guy who understands it.
Surely he gets some credit for that, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of work there.
Yeah.
All right. 5:08 now. WKYT This Morning is just getting started.
Still to come, we'll look at the WKYT Rules winter photos and videos. We've got some really good ones to show you. That's coming up.
Yeah, it's amazing because some of us lost our rulers yesterday. You'll be able to find those as we go off towards your weekend and toward next week. We'll start to melt that snow. It's unbelievable snow. I'll show you totals and also your weekend forecast coming up.